Hello everybody, here we are back with the Lord of the Rings, the card game, the living card game. Today we are going to try and escape from Dol Guldur, which is the third and last quest of the core set, and arguably probably the most difficult one. I've played it a couple of times, made a lot of mistakes because it's actually got a lot of niggly things. And of course I never beat it, although I was making mistakes in my own favour. So maybe a couple of things about how this quest works. As you can see, I'm playing two-handedly. So here I've got a new deck which I put together, Legolas, Gimli, Thalin. So that's actually 3 tactics heroes from the base set, but I'm using songs, the Song of Wisdom in particular, to turn this into a tactics lore deck. And here I've got my usual Theodred done here in Eowyn. Now the problem with this quest, I mean there are many problems with this quest, but the major problem is at the beginning of the quest, amongst all the heroes, not per player, but of all of the heroes that are in play, one gets taken away. And the player who loses one of his heroes doesn't reduce their threat, which is kind of sucky. So basically this means they have been kidnapped, and it's also now our job to rescue them. And in order to do so, we have 3 things which we need to find. We've got the dungeon torch, which is a restricted item. And if you want to claim it, first of all, it's guarded. I'm going to explain to you what this means in a second. But once this is no longer guarded and you want to acquire it, you have to raise your threat by 2, and then you have to attach it to a hero you control. At the end of each round, raise attached hero's controller's threat by 2. Now that's horrible. The shadow key, again to claim it, raise your threat by 2, and then at the end of each round, attached hero suffers 1 damage. And lastly, Gandalf's map, again in order to acquire it, raise your threat by 2, attach it to a hero. The attached hero cannot attack or defend. So what you would usually do is, I would attach Gandalf's map to Eowyn if she's in play, because she never attacks or defends. I would attach the dungeon torch, the shadow key to Gimli, because he actually enjoys taking damage. And the dungeon torch would also go onto one of the heroes here, because the threat level of this group is only 25. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to draw 3 cards to guard these items. The first one is the Dol Guldur Beastmaster, and he guards the shadow key. Then we have when revealed, the player with the highest threat level attaches this card to one of his heroes. Counts as a condition attachment with the text, attached hero does not ready during the refresh phase unless you pay 2 resources from his hero's pool. So we're going to attach this to Thalin. I'm going to explain to you why later. So actually then the Gandalf's map remains unguarded. Next up is the dungeon torch, and that's the hammer horns which will guard this, and that's actually not too bad, because we're going to, if Dunhere isn't kidnapped, we will use Dunhere to actually kill them. So next up, what we're going to do is we are going to draw 1 card each. I draw an ally vassal of the Wind Lords, and I draw a Dunedain mark, which is good. And now let's see which, oh yeah, and we also have a Nazgul. The Nazgul enters play as soon as we have found our hostage. So I'm going to read you the text. The Lady Galadriel of Lorien has asked you to investigate the area in the vicinity of Dol Guldur. While doing so, one of your allies was ambushed by orcs, captured, and is now held in a dungeon cell. So, during setup, search the encounter deck for the 3 objective cards, reveal and place them in the staging area. Also place the Nazgul of Dol Guldur face up but out of play alongside the quest deck. Then shuffle the encounter deck and attach 1 encounter to each objective card. That's happened. Gonna turn it over. When revealed, select 1 hero card among all the heroes controlled by the players and turn it face down. randomly select. So I'm going to roll a d6. Come on. I roll a 3, so it's actually Theodred, which is bad, because Theodred is the only... yeah, it's bad for various reasons. That is actually probably the worst that could have happened. So now, this is the situation as is. Yeah, Theodred is quite important to my deck, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Yeah, because the problem is, in my hand I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards which can only be played by a leadership hero. Oh well, it is the Lord of the Rings after all. Okay, so let's get going. We have a starting threat of 3. We're going to quest with... let's see, are we going to bring anyone out? Yes, we are going to attach the Song of Wisdom to Tallinn. And other than that, we're not going to do anything. Yeah. So we're going to quest with Eowyn and Tallinn and Gimli for 2, 3, 7 against a starting threat of 3, 4, 6. So that means we're going to add 1 to our quest, which is not really very good. We're going to travel to the Great Forest Web, and we need to exhaust a hero to do so. And Dun here is going to attack the Hammerhorns up here. And that's us done. So everybody refreshes. Except, of course, Tallinn, who can't. Everybody gets a resource. Tallinn will pay this resource but stay exhausted. Threat goes up by 1 per person, per group. We draw a card. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Escort from Edoras comes out. And we are going to... Yeah, oh, very important. Per round, you can only ever play one single ally. This is very important. You can only ever play one single ally. Otherwise, this would probably be quite an easy quest, or a lot easier, I suppose, if you could play more than one ally per turn. Okay, so that means now that we've played the Escort from Edoras, there isn't much else we can do. So we're going to quest with the Escort from Edoras and with Eowyn and with... Yeah, why not? With Gimli. No, actually with... Yeah, with Legolas. So... we're questing for 4, 8, 9, for 4, 8, 9 against a threat of 3, 4. Each player discards all event cards from his hand. I hate this. I absolutely, totally hate this card, and I've got nothing to mitigate against this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the jailer should have taken 1 wound when he came out because Talin was questing at the time. So we're questing for 1, 5, 9 against 1, 2, 4. So that's +5. So this one goes away. +4 here. Oh, sorry, this one gains surge. Okay. Oh yeah, actually I'll have to redo this. So we're questing for 0, 3, for 6, and we're getting 2, 4, 7. So we actually have +2. Okay, now that was not good. Because, yeah, Danhir is going to attack Ungoliant for 2. For 1 actually, and she's going to come down and she's going to engage Gimli. No shadow effect for 5 against 2, so he takes 3 points of damage. So we're off to a really bad start already. Everyone refreshes. Everyone gets a resource. We have lost all of our event cards, which is terrible. I've actually ordered a second base set because I want more of those mitigating cards that actually allow you to cancel out stuff. I mean, I find it a bit ridiculous that in the actual core set they didn't give you 3 of each card, because you can have 3 copies of each card per deck, and I think that was a bit cheap on their side. Oh yeah, and everybody's threat goes up by 1. So 33 already. It's not good. Here we have a when revealed cancellation. I would like to have 3 test of wills. Okay, let's see. We can't use any of those cards. Oh, actually, we also, if Dungeon Jailer is in the staging area, after the players have just quested unsuccessfully, shuffle 1 claimed objective card from the staging area into the encounter deck. Brilliant. So one of them goes away. It's not good. We're off to a really bad start. But also, as you can see, there are plenty of things that you have to, you know, consider when playing this, because there's a lot of stuff going on in this one. Okay. So, what are we going to do? We could bring in, yeah, we're going to bring in Gandalf to lower our threat. By 5. Okay. Then we're going to bring in self-preservation. Actually, Gimli should have wounds. 5 against 2, should have 3 wounds actually. And that's about all we can do. And Let's quest for 4. 8, 12, 13. When revealed, attach iron shackles to the top of the first player deck. Okay, no problem. 2. Oh, the dungeon torch. That's brilliant. We just discarded it. Here it is again. That's good because now we're questing for 4, 8, 12 against 1, 2, 4, which means we're making 8 progress. 2 go on the forest, 6 go on here, so 7. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get Gandalf's map and we're going to attach it to Eowyn, and she's going to raise her threat by 2. And now we're going to take a little closer look at our friend. Well, first of all, let's see, are we going to travel? Oh yeah, why not? We're going to travel to the dungeon caverns. And Dunhir is going to attack into the staging area. He's going to attack the Dol Guldur Beastmaster for 2. And then we are going to look at our dear friend Ungolion's spawn. Gimli attacks for 5. Let's see, what are we going to do? Are we going to... No, we're going to first heal Gimli of 2 wounds. And then he's going to defend. Shadow card. Choose and discard 1 attachment from the defending character. Oh god, that's not what we wanted. Here goes the attachment, but still. So 5 against 2 is 3, so he takes 3 wounds. It's a good thing we healed him just now. And Legolas is going to attack for 1. So she's now got 5 wounds. Everyone refreshes. Everyone's threat goes up by 1. Everyone gets a resource. 1, 2, and 4. No cards drawn here. And we draw a Song of Wisdom. And that is really good because we're going to attach it to Legolas. And we are going to attach Forest Snare to Ungolion's spawn. And that's all we're going to do because we can't do anything else. And we will go questing for 1, 5, 9 against 3, 5. When revealed, each player must choose to and exhaust 1 character he controls. Brilliant. The first player chooses 1 character currently committed to a quest, deal 2 damage to that character. Okay, before we forget it, each one of them gets a wound. 1, 2, first player. Yeah, we're going to give 2 wounds to Eowyn. This is going really badly. Yeah, and both attack. This is horrible. Because we can do nothing. So, yeah, there is nothing we can do. We've pretty much now lost the game. So the Dol Guldur orcs are going to come down as is the King's Spider. They're both going to attack. Legolas will take the Dol Guldur orcs. Oops, wrong card deck, actually. And no shadow effect. So he takes 1 wound, and the King Spider goes through undefended and does 4 wounds and 3 wounds, and actually Legolas is dead. So we can stop now. We have lost the game. As you can see, this is a really terrible quest. So far it's never happened so quickly to me, but it is one of those things. If you draw this, yeah, let's discard all events. That pretty much sucks. Okay, so as you can see, this is a terrible quest. Some say it's the most difficult one ever. I'm not sure if it's the most difficult one ever, but definitely the one that is most talked about in terms of that people really find it unfair. Especially, I'm using cards that don't even exist in the base game, like the Vassal of the Windlord. I've got a couple of really strong eagle allies in there. I'm using songs to beef up the deck, and you don't have those when you have the base game. So, and like I said, I mean, I still can't get over the fact that they would give you the base game with not 3 copies of each card, because you want 3 unexpected courage, you want 3 test of wills to ensure that you can actually mitigate against these cards, and I don't understand why they didn't do this. Okay, so that's Escape from Dol Guldur. Well, obviously not. We didn't even make it past the first stage. But I hope I gave you a kind of an idea of what the game is about. I will probably not return to this one because it has been giving me a lot of headaches, and maybe as I progress through of the packs and get more cards, I may return to it. But next up will be the Hunt for Gollum. So have a lovely day.